A tornado swept through Siren, Wisconsin last night, destroying an 8-block area of the town. Eyewitnesses say basically everything was leveled where the storm hit. 3 people were killed in the storm. About a dozen people were taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for injuries. We go live now to Siren and News Channel 3's Chad Thomas to learn more about the damage. Chad?
Rebecca, I'm standing in the north end of Siren. Siren's a community of about 900 people. And right here behind me is basically the tornado's path where the tornado moved through town. As we take a look at this building here over my shoulder, you can see just how fierce this storm was as it moved through Siren last night. And now we want to show you some of the video that we shot earlier this morning from within Siren. You can see the heavy destruction. The tornado struck around 8:15 last night, approximately 6 miles west of Siren, and continued on through downtown Siren and then east for another 20 miles all the way to the border with Washburn County. Along with those 3 people that you mentioned who were killed, we have a confirmation of at least 8 people here in the village of Siren who were taken to area hospitals and treated for injuries. And at a press conference earlier, about an hour ago, the Burnett County Sheriff said search efforts will resume this morning for other possible victims.
Right away, rescue workers virtually had to cut their way down through the village of Siren. There were some county roads that our people spent hours on cutting their way through just to check cabins and residents and things.
A command post has been set up in the center of town, but most of the town has actually been cordoned off except for allowing emergency personnel in. There's also a shelter at the high school for area residents to go to who are without homes. This morning, most of the town is without electricity and is also without telephone service, and we have a number we want to pass along for people who have questions about relatives. That phone number is 715-349-2171. To repeat, 715-349-2171. Rebecca, back to you.
Thank you so much, Chad. Now back to our top story. A tornado swept through Siren, Wisconsin last night, destroying an 8-block area of the town. 3 people were killed in the storm, and about a dozen more were injured. We go live now to Siren and News Channel 3's Chad Thomas to learn more about the damage. Chad?
Rebecca, along with those 3 fatalities that you reported, we've confirmed that there's been at least 8 people from the village of Siren here taken to area hospitals overnight. I'm once again standing in the north end of town, but I've changed positions here a little bit, and if Aaron can just push in towards the town with the camera here, you can get a little bit of a sense of some of the destruction that swept through downtown Siren last night. And as we take a look at the video, you get a more complete picture of that devastation. The video shot last night shows that trees were uprooted, cars flipped over, homes and businesses torn apart. Basically, the majority of businesses in Siren appear to have been damaged, with many of those here on the north end completely flattened. Terry and Russ Erickson just opened their meat business here in Siren in April. One of the many homes and businesses ripped apart.
Kind of just shock. You know, you see a lot of this on the news and you don't think that's going to happen in your little hometown. And here we are. Hopefully everybody pulls together.
And I'm joined here live now by Burnett County Sheriff Tim Curtin. Sheriff, thank you for joining us. Tell me where you're moving at this point in terms of where people can go if their home has been damaged.
Right now, if their home's been damaged, we do have a emergency shelter set up at the Siren school. We've moved people there. We are asking that if people checked in with us last night and then went home with family members, to please let us know where they're at, because we do have concerned family members looking for them.
And is there a phone number that people can call if they are looking for family members?
Yes, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay, I know that they have it back in the studio, so I'm sure that they'll get it on the air here in just a second. Talk to me about the fact that there is a lot of destruction here in the downtown, and you're asking people to stay out of Siren at this point.
Correct. We're asking that if you're not a local resident, if you don't have any reason to be downtown, to please drive around the village. Otherwise, we have been asking for assistance of people with heavy equipment, chainsaws, that type of equipment, not just in the village, but we have a lot of tree damage um, on both sides of the village.
Where, Sheriff, do efforts go from here at this point? What will you be doing this morning?
Well, this morning, last night, we had our first initial phase, which was to get immediate help to people that needed it. Virtually, the emergency workers had to cut their way down the streets of the villages, or the village here, and had to cut their way through township roads in order to get to cabins and some of the homes.
I realize this is early on, but Sheriff, give us a sense of the damage that you've been seeing.
Well, there's I've seen numerous barns down, livestock damaged. We have livestock that's been reported having been destroyed because of the injuries. We have extensive damage here in the village, and there's no way of assessing the village outside the village. So,
Sheriff, thank you for joining us this morning. I know you have a lot of other work that you need to be doing today. Rebecca will send it back to you in the studio for now, but we will be back a little bit later on in the hour with another update.
Thank you, Chad, for that report. Good morning. It is 6:55. We're going to go one more time to News Channel 3's Chad Thomas in Siren, Wisconsin, where a tornado devastated the town. About a dozen people were taken to the hospital with injuries and 3 were killed. Chad, what can you tell us about the circumstances surrounding the deaths?
Well, we don't know a whole lot about that at this point, Rebecca, but what we have been told is that those deaths did not occur here in the village of Siren. They happened east of town, about 15 miles east of Siren, and they were apparently separate incidents. They did not die together, those 3 people. We have switched positions here to show you a little bit more of the devastation here in town. If Aaron can pan over my shoulder here, you can see just beyond the trees is what's left of Siren's hockey rink, and we were there earlier this morning, and I can tell you that the rink is basically a total loss. We've also put a camera on top of our satellite truck to give you a view of the downtown in the daylight. You can see the path that the tornado ripped through downtown Siren through the north end, destroying most businesses in the north end of Siren. And as we take a look at the video that we shot earlier this morning, it gives you a close-up look at the destruction. Trees uprooted, cars flipped over, many homes and businesses ripped apart. Among those who were at the center of the storm last night, Siren resident Melissa Armstrong.
Going out with the wall, and my husband was grabbing my arm and pulling me back inside the house. And then I pretty much blacked out from there until we got underneath the mattress in the living room. And then it was only another, I want to say, minute or so, and the storm was gone. It just happened that fast, no sirens, no warning, no nothing. Just the pressure in my ears, and I'm like, I know it's here.
Now, the Red Cross is providing shelter here for people who do not have homes, and we have a phone number for people who are looking for relatives. That number, once again, that we had earlier this morning, 715-349-2171. And of course, Rebecca, we will have numerous crews here throughout the day and have complete reports at 6 and 10.
Thank you so much, Chad. We really appreciate everything that you've done today. Thanks for that report.